Yo, yo, yo. What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Grove Hall in the building. Game's running a little bit
That
late,
was my
man.
patent.
Still going.
That was my patent. That was my patented shot. One thing I could do was finger roll.
Yo, what's up, man? Chef Main here. Coach Main here. You know what I mean? Do a little bit of both. Sunday night, a little bit, running a little bit behind, man. For the Grove Hall podcast. I didn't you know, want to be up here dolo. Oh, is that my brother Payne? What's good? Let's see if we get Payne on the screen. See if Payne feel like rocking it. Yo,
Yo, what's the word, bro?
what's good with you, man?
Shit, sitting here, feet in my face
Yeah.
after this lovely Sunday win.
Hey, yo, man. First and foremost, happy birthday. You know what I mean to my nephew, man. You know what I
Yes,
mean.
sir,
It
little
feels
man.
like time, man. It's just like it doesn't even feel like it's happened so fast. You know what I mean? Like here we are at the
Yeah.
first birthday, man. So
That was a fast year.
word up. So happy
Fast.
birthday to nephew, man. You know what I mean? Getting big, got them long arms, man, long legs. So
Yeah, he might be in this discussion in some years down the line. Who knows?
yo,
The way
word
he's
up,
growing, man.
word up, word up. But salute to you, man. You got a good win today. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, felt good to
you
be
know,
back on the sidelines. Like the first 2 weeks, I've been, I play at the Shelbourne in the 45 and over, so the games were the
yep.
same times. So I missed the first 2 weeks, and then last week I came back and I took a back seat to, Russ was there, so he knew what was going on and how people play. So I was like, all right, you do your thing. And then today, because I was there last week, I felt a little more comfortable. And then I had to play Russ more this week too. So I got back in the driver's seat, and but it really didn't have shit to do with me. We kept the chaos to a minimum, which is the knock on my team down there normally.
Yep.
And dudes did what they had to do and got the dub. So shout out to them.
No question. I've told you before, like, you know what I mean, you guys again have one of the more talented rosters down there. Is just about the BS that kind of goes on, the stigma that's kind of around the team. But credit to you for keeping the troops together, having a captain like Russ to keep guys together. And then you made some good picks this year too in the draft. Also to kind of, really helped you out. I know you was missing one of your rookies today.
Yeah.
But definitely still, definitely still look good, man. And you knocked off an undefeated team. You know what I mean? On top of that,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
They're a tough team. Like, they got players all around. Like, offensively, there's no weak points for that team.
Yeah, definitely. No, I mean, I think the biggest thing with that team, the Rockets, is like it's gonna be a lot of sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be a lot of sacrifices gonna have to happen. And also Booby was missing too. And that kind of like, is the calmness, you know what I mean, to that team. He knows how to get everybody together and galvanize and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we took a tough loss today, man. And it's gonna be like that with us for a little bit with not having Brandon and then sometimes not having Joe, on the team. That's gonna be, it's gonna really lead me to get real creative on the sidelines with the team. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And today was one of those things of where, again, I feel like, the team that we played was really good too, though. I mean, people can say what they want about the Celtics, but the Celtics have talent. It's just really about how they start to mesh. And there's some other things that they got going on. But that's definitely one of the more talented teams up there as well. I feel like there's no weaknesses, like there's no like nights off. Like every week it's a really good matchup. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I mean, even the expansion teams are like really, progressing like a lot better too. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
So
Spence, knock it off.
shout out to my guy Spence, man. Spence the OG. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Uh,
they
and,
yeah,
Spen- and,
nah.
and to and to Spencer's, credit too, man. You know what I'm saying? Like while we, giving out some flowers, the Kings are playing really well also. You know,
Yeah.
Spence he did a great job this year with identifying what they needed in the draft and getting a big man like Gabe to kind of really anchors everything. And you know what I mean? Like,
And
you
that
lose
that that frees up Keenan to not have to play big because he
right,
doesn't,
right.
even though he can, he doesn't want to.
Yeah, he doesn't really want to. You know what I mean? So the Kings, I mean, are definitely a tough out. Um, as well. So again, it's like every week. Every week. It's no I caught a little bit of the video from the Hawks and Heat game,
There was
which
video.
Reem, the
Okay.
energy guard was online. He had went live
Yeah.
for a little bit, and I ended up catching a little bit of that. Um, and yeah, man, the Hawks pulled it off. You know,
Okay.
yeah, the Hawks pulled it off. But I mean, like again, not surprising to the Hawks. Like, in my opinion, the Hawks got the best player in the draft, and that's no shade to anyone else. I just feel like, Zach is just he's just a tough. I've been seeing Zach since he was playing down in Lee School. I mean, excuse me, not Lee School, down Enrico's league, excuse me. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? So Zach can play.
And
I mean,
you got it. Not to mention, a couple episodes ago, we remember hearing radio say Tony Lee wills teams to win.
that too. That
Yeah,
also. And so
that's their guy. You know what I mean? So
having someone like that, you know what I mean, definitely, you know, that can galvanize the team, can galvanize everybody together. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna talk a little bit too much. You know what I mean? Let's get it, man. 7 o'clock.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
On Dead Dogs, the Grove Hall show got it locked. The best sports show in New England, it's your first stop. See Coach Maine handle topics like he got the rock. Point guard, drop it off, help you find your spot. You know Payne got the streets on smash. Dropping jewels every time like J Kid off the glass. And let's keep it real, everybody ain't for real. That's why we got Mr. Mirror Time here to seal the deal. Tune in.
Yo, yo, yo.
yes, sir.
Oh man. We back here. Preston, y'all in trouble. I killed my boyfriend.
Oh God.
Oh, did the Jazz lose?
I left right after our game, so I don't even
Oh,
know.
okay.
I left right
Oh
after.
man, nah, don't say that. Yo, nah. I mean, again, man, this is a long season. It's a 22 game season. And how you finish is wow. Okay. They lost to the Lakers. But again, Lakers got a good team too. Like,
It's like you said, it's really no big drop off in talent from team to team. Any team
no,
could lose any week.
no. It's
So
it's 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 just really about, the management of the sidelines, what's that's like, you know what I mean, and how well you're doing it. Like that's a big thing. And again, the temperament of the team and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
Like it's just, any given Sunday, it's a perfect title. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so yeah, obviously I guess the Lakers beat the Jazz, and yeah, it feels like the West, I mean,
It's
did
all
pretty good
bunched
there.
up and as far as records.
Right. Right. So but yeah, man, start off. It's a good season, you know what I mean? So no complaints with that so far. So we'll definitely see. Um wow, the Jazz were up 10 and they just started shooting bad shots. Ooh,
A
okay.
lot of that goes down. We was talking about something like me and Mac was talking about that earlier too. Shout out to Monty Mac.
Mac O.
There was a lot of low scoring games up there, right? So, and I said this at the 45 and over because I just got sick of hearing dudes complain and whine up there. Like, guys got to realize we ain't what we used to be. I mean, granted, some of those guys are 34, 35 now, but even still, you're still not what you were in your prime.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, so saying washed is a bit extra, but you got to realize at this time, at this age, we're all washed. So, like, dudes be complaining and moaning and bitching about the refs and all types of other shit. Like, we're washed. So what? You missed them shot.
Yo, here's the thing too. Like how much are guys really getting in the gym to play ball like during the Sunday to Sunday? So like that matters, right? Because we talked about that too, like amongst our team. Like, yo, if guys aren't getting at all on any other day besides this Sunday, and you're not playing again until next Sunday, like, what do you expect? You know what I'm saying? Like, your mic's low, bro.
My fault. I was
Yeah.
saying, like, you're not young no more. You can't just go pick up the ball once a week. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you was younger, that could fly. Like, okay, I'm just gonna go hoop Saturday, go out and bust ass, and then that's it. Like, nah, you got to have them reps as you get older because your muscle memory's gone.
Right. Right. So, yeah, man. I mean, whew,
But
we'll see next Sunday. I'm sure it's going to be a nice slate of games next Sunday.
oh yeah, for sure. And like, just for keeping with the theme of tonight, the title of y'all show tonight, the Land of the Giants. There was a lot of good big men involved in those games today too.
Yo, talk about that. Let's talk about that for a second. Um, by the time I got there, I think I caught the Sixers game and big man. I mean, Jared Height, like the difference, like again, Jared Height on your team just does so much for your team because he covers so much ground. And I mean, this is again, this like to your point, this is the older version of Jared Height. This isn't
Right.
even like the younger 10 years ago that was really like jumping out the gym, but his impact is it's
You
on
can't
the
keep him
game.
off the
It's crazy.
glass.
No,
You can't keep
no.
him off the glass. It's really hard to keep Jared off the glass.
I mean, he covered the perimeter. You know what I mean? Like it's like almost anywhere you want him on the floor. Like he's such an impact for a guy who does not need the ball to score. He doesn't need the ball to impact the game. You know what I'm saying? Like he's gonna get his off of the misses, off of the putbacks, everything like that. I mean, he's just again such a difference maker, such
Yeah,
a difference maker.
those
You
energy
know?
bigs are invaluable. You know what I mean? Like the guys that are like a Stromile Swift or those type of guys. They just athletic as hell, get you the rebounds, have a high motor. You know what I mean? But Jared, like he has that, but he also has some talent to him too. So it's like he's not just the athletic big out there running around. He
No,
kind of knows the game and he has some
no,
talent.
absolutely. I didn't catch the Magic game, but I saw James Lambert, who again is one of the better bigs in that league also. With his ability, he's a little different than Jared because he has an ability to put the ball on the floor and do a little more and be creative. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think about James Lambert?
So so this is my thing with James, like, and it always has been since the first time I met James, we played against each other at the hospital, and he's a big guy, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking he's a big, but he's fast for being that big.
Definitely.
So is he
Definitely.
really a big, or is he just a big wing?
So in this league, he's a big man. But I would say like for like a if you had him in like a money tournament or something like that or whatever, like in his younger, he's a big wing.
Mm-hmm.
But he's probably better off as a big wing. But the thing is, his size and stature, he can
Yeah,
cover a big man. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like he can cover a big man. So it's really, really. I mean, he is just a nightmare. He's a matchup nightmare on the floor.
yeah. And
He's a
so
matchup
there's a
nightmare.
lot of these guys that we're going to be talking about in this discussion tonight, like a lot of them are like that. Like they're big men because of their size, but they have the skill set to be guards as well.
Right.
And it makes them tough. I got one of them on my team. Russ is a big man, but Russ is only 5'10".
Yeah. Yeah. Again,
You know what I
a
mean?
matchup nightmare, though. A
Yeah.
matchup nightmare because he is quick enough to cover guys, at least again, the younger Russ. And even for guys in his age range, he's quick enough to cover guys on the perimeter and get back and guard a guy who, and Russ is 5'10". You could put Russ on a guy who is 6'8", like all that. And again, because of his,
They can't move him.
they cannot move him.
Russ,
They cannot move him.
I have a saying about Russ. He's stronger than cheap cologne. Like you cannot. Russ is the strongest person I ever seen.
Yo, what? He's stronger than what?
Cheap cologne. Like you cannot. Like Russ is probably the strongest person I know, and I know some strong guys. Like Cal Hardy's a strong guy. There's a lot of guys I know that have like just brute strength. Like Russ is probably the strongest person I know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you had a couple guys on your team, who big men wise, like, I mean, we talk about Marvin Russell. I mean, he's been more relegated to moving to the perimeter now in his older days. But you're talking about that was one of the best low post big men in high school in his era. Like I think he was like second or something in the city in scoring. Like, I mean, in his time in English, absolutely no question, one of the better.
It's frustrating because he can hit the J, he can shoot the jumper, right? But when he goes down to the block, sometimes it's like he had a couple of times today. It looks so easy. It's like, why are you even, you know what I mean? But I mean, like you said, he's a walking double if he gets his mind to it.
He falls in love with it a little too much, but again, it's the shot has gotten a lot better. You know what I mean? Like, but again, to your point, when he wants to, I mean, he's easily just back again, his strength backing you down, and then he has the ability to go either side, left hand, right hand with the hook. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that baby hook. That's his bread and butter. You know what I mean? He can turn around, face up, kiss off the glass. Like, I mean, there's really not much he can't do in that low box.
Yeah.
Booth. Jamal Derek Booth.
Yeah.
When it comes to big men. And I mean, we've known Booth a long time. Right. What are your thoughts on Booth?
So the first time I seen Booth was BNBL. I think he was still playing 15 and under, and he was only like 12 or some shit like that. And Kwame was raving about, they call him Congo. I'm like, who are you talking about? And I go down and I watch. I'm like, all right, what uncle do they got playing these little kids right now? Because he was way bigger than everybody. He had facial hair. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But then like watching him play, I'm like, yo, this kid could go to the league.
Yeah.
Like he's strong enough to be a big. He was only playing big because of his height, but he had handle like a guard. His jump shot, even though like people laugh because it's a rainbow, but he could hit like when he's playing.
Yeah, like a real high floater.
Yeah, like you know what I mean. So like great talent. You know what I mean. Like it's just the certain like outside shit got to him, but great talent.
Oh yeah. One of the definitely one of the best that we've ever saw play, in this city. And I mean, like, the work that I heard he used to put in when they were on the road, in those AAU days was even so. Not like he was just doing work here, and wasn't doing work. You know what I mean? Like he did work out of state as well too. You know what I mean? On a major level. Who else? Who was one of the big? So what do we think about and since Spence brought him up, Preston, when it comes to bigs, Preston
Yo,
seems more like a finesse. He's more of a finesse
yeah.
kind of big man.
He's
You
a
know,
finesse
skill,
big
skill.
man as far as scoring goes, but
Yeah.
Preston will get his nose dirty, and he hits the offensive glass probably just as good as anybody else in that league,
Yeah.
and as good as a lot of big men that I've seen. Like he's always getting offensive rebounds. Like I
Right.
think between him and Zeke, who is another undersized big man, like it's just crazy. It's hard to keep them off the glass.
Yeah. Zeke is, I mean, Zeke is a definitely undersized big man in that league.
Mm-hmm.
Super duper tough. I was about to say, who's another big man in that league that doesn't get like his
I got
just
one
due?
that's on my team, and he's hurt right now. Is Dre
Oh,
Rollins.
yes.
Andre Rollins is one of the toughest bigs I've ever seen. Like, and he's not one of those bigs that like that is like he's a literal throwback. Like he has post game. He'll back you down. He'll turn his face and like go by you, put his dunk on you. Like, don't blink. Watch your head,
Super.
and he's still like able to get up there in this old age with bad knees.
Yeah, super athletic. Jumps off of 1 foot, like just springs again. Like the things that I've saw him do. I've coached Trey. He was playing with me down Boyd fam in the Boyd family, and I mean, just the things that he was able to do. Like you said, he can turn, he can face, all that. But like running the floor with him, running the lane, like oh my god, just and I had
Mm-hmm.
him and Keenan Smalls at one time on a team.
Oh
You
man,
know what I'm saying? Like, so dog, Keenan broke one, I think it was like the first or second year in Boy Fam, Keenan like broke the rim down, like on an alley oop. Insane, dog. Insane. What other bigs though are we missing? I feel
there's a
like
lot. There's a lot of them that like I. It's crazy because I've had a lot of them on my team. Shout out to my bro. He's not playing anymore because of the shoulders, but Frankie Finkley's one too.
Underrated.
Tough. Yeah,
Underrated.
Prime Fink was a
Underrated.
problem.
Underrated. Super duper underrated. Man, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like tweener. You didn't know whether he was a 3 or a 4. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like, but again, in his prime, athletic, could defend, could
Mm-hmm.
shoot, just well rounded as far as his game. You know what I'm saying? Like, just did a
Yeah.
lot of things really, really good on the basketball court. You know what I mean? Cal Hardy,
Yeah. Oh,
like
absolutely. Another
Cal
brother.
Hardy, man. Definitely, you know what I mean? Like my brother, I had a pleasure to coach his son, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But Cal Hardy, I mean, Cal Hardy was the guy that, you were like, we used to be in high school and, we'd be running to the Lee school like, yo, Cal and Boo's about to play. Yo, we got to go see them play. Though.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like it
but
was
you
must be TV.
even though they was playing, Cal's gonna walk in at halftime. He's
Nah.
never on time in games.
The field the field he was solid with them a couple years, but he was on time. I don't know what
Yo,
it was, but his days with Franklin Field.
I never seen Cal on time to a game until we played at Newberry together. That was the
Oh,
only
what?
time I ever seen him on time for a game. But Sly
Spence said,
Mayberry was a problem.
Sly, rest in peace, Sly, man.
Yeah, he was.
Rest in
I had
peace,
the pleasure
Sly.
of playing in the old school Monday with Sly for the first time ever. I think it was like 2 years before he passed or a year before he passed. Sly was probably the best passing big man I've ever seen in person. Like his floor vision was crazy.
First championship I ever won under the hardball name. Sly was on that team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Sly, Cal Hardy, and man, maybe Mitch. Yeah.
Herc.
Yeah, Herc. Yep.
Oh wow.
Mitch. Yeah.
Damn. That's a good ass front court right there.
Yo, listen, man. Sly, man, he was just, I mean, again, up and unders. You know what I'm saying? Like any way you want it. You know what I'm saying? He was giving it to you any way you want it. He was giving it to you, yo. Like Slide, man. Rest in peace, Slide. He was a throwback in the Bigs era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because
shout out to Stacy Messiah too. He just
oh
passed
man,
too.
oh man, yeah,
That was
we definitely, made sure we sent our condolences to Big Stace, man, when it happened. Um, Stace was definitely another one. Stace was definitely another one. Underrated too. You know what I'm saying? Like Stace is a little older though. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But in his class, like
When I first got to the OTL my rookie year, that was my welcome to the OTL moment was I'm coming in for my first game and the Spurs are playing. They're down the far end of the hoop. I'm walking in the gym and I see them dump it down to big man and he just turns and dunks. I'm like, oh, that's what's going on here? Wow. So
yep.
like Stacy was super athletic and even in his older age and just he had game. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Stacy. And then yeah, Spence said Blake run
Rest
down.
in
Yeah,
peace.
rest in peace
Rest
to
in
Blake
peace,
too. We
Blake,
just lost him
man.
recently. Damn,
Rest
man.
in peace, Blake. Right.
Spence, you
Wow.
bringing up all the OGs that passed, man. Gonna get
I
me
mean,
teary eyed in a minute.
yeah, man. Yeah, no, because again, these were not just great basketball players, these were good people. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? If you got a
word.
chance to really know them. These were really good people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Blake, man, again, just way he ran the floor. Blake was he was intimidating. You were just on a roll,
right.
Spence.
Yeah.
Rest
Shout
in
out to Crook
peace.
too, man. Crook,
Um,
all these guys I played with coming up as a young man or played against in like open runs and stuff. Like I met Crook at the Marshall and down to Holland and stuff like that, playing pickup ball and stuff like that. But yeah, man, Blake super athletic, like you were saying. Just even like right before he passed, like just to be what was Blake 50? What like he had to be like 52 or something like that. He wasn't much older than me, but Blake was super athletic. Like I think he still was dunking. So
Blake, yes, I believe
yeah,
he was.
so
I believe he was.
just
Yep.
crazy athletic. Like don't don't go up soft because he's gonna punch it into the third row.
Right.
Like you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Oh,
great guy off the
that's
court
what I mean.
also.
He was intimidating. Like
Yeah.
you thought twice about going to the basket if he was down there. You
Mm-hmm.
thought twice because he was mean. He was mean, or he wasn't mean. He was cool as hell. He was just mean looking. He looked like he was like on that type of time, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But absolutely a problem. I didn't get a chance to see him in his prime. But I definitely heard the stories. I got a chance to see him like the older version of him. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, Spence, you on a roll, bringing up another one, Dave Shaw.
Oh yeah.
The ultimate winner. You know what I mean? The ultimate winner, the ultimate glue guy as far as big men goes in terms of how he kept his team together. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a winner and definitely was a good player. Definitely was a really good player. No question
Yeah.
about it. No question about it. Shaw definitely brought the winning, you know what I'm saying, to it. And not just with the Titans, because I watched him go play with when he went to go play with Fab Six or any of those guys, he was still like just impacting, winning on both ends of the floor, rebounding, shot blocking. Um, oh man, Big Dex
Yeah.
that played with
That's
they used to play with the Sonics before they were
yeah.
Sonics and Diaz in them days.
He's
Yeah,
still he's still he's still doing this thing too, man.
does
So
he?
yeah, that mid range, that Dex mid range, and keeping him off the glass is hard to do too. So yeah, him and then another big we're feeling to mention right now from our era is Jay Edmonds.
Jay Edmonds, little big man, the undersized little big man.
Yeah, super athletic, can't go left, but he's savvy as hell. You know what I mean? So he's gonna get to that right hand no matter what.
Right, right. We'd be remiss if we didn't mention A couple other bigs, because I did this whole list thing and it had people going crazy.
Oh my God.
Um, uh, Randall, Randall
Yeah,
Jackson,
Randall Jackson.
Randall
Yeah.
Jackson, man, Randall Jackson. Um, I mean, listen, it feels like he was ahead of his time. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Oh,
feels like Rand
he was
because
a
of just
stretch
how he
four,
played. Yeah, right. He was like one of the
4 or
original
5, right?
stretch floors before because he was probably in one of the best draft classes of all time, or at least one of the best McDonald's classes of all times. The
Yeah.
95 with Ticket and Wayne, and like that class was just crazy.
Yeah.
But how Randall's game was is that he could kill you on the box, but he was killing you facing up and all that type of stuff too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, he was definitely ahead of his time. The
he was
game,
ahead of
if
his
the
time.
game, if the game then was like it is now, he probably would have been a lot more highly touted. I mean, he
Yeah,
still was. He
yeah.
still was, but I mean, like even still, it would have been like, oh, this is it.
Just it just feels like the wrong era. It just feels like he was legit just in the wrong big time. He was just in the
Yeah,
wrong
for
era of
sure.
basketball.
And
You know what I
since
mean?
we going back to that era, also Elton Tyler too.
Elton Tyler.
Yeah,
Oh boy. Elton Tyler. Listen.
tough.
And I heard Elton Tyler used to do his work crazy out of town as well.
Hmm.
On those AAU trips and all that stuff, because people you catch him in a few games in the city, you're like, he ain't that good. Like, okay, yeah, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. All right.
Yo, listen. And even when like he went to college, like he had a decent career. He had not decent, he had more decent. He had a pretty good career for Miami. You know, they
Yeah.
made the tournament a few times while he was
Hmm.
there. Like, no. Elton, definitely one of the best, most underrated bigs. Um, I mean, Jamal Jackson, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Jamal Jackson was the creme de la creme of bigs in his time, in his era. Um, like there was nothing he couldn't do on the floor. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I was a young guy, like watching him play, you know what I'm saying? Like, and just in awe of the things that he could do, like for his size and how skilled he was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being super young. Um, Spence brings up another one, you know what I'm saying? Like, and again, I got a chance to see that guy in person, you know what I mean? Growing up too, was Roscoe Patterson going to Merrill's
Yeah.
court. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll see Roscoe, you'll see Chris, his brother, see
Yeah.
Murder.
Yeah.
Uh, but Roscoe, man, was just a different, level. Like there were just levels of this stuff, and Roscoe was absolutely one of the more just there was again nothing he couldn't do on the basketball court. I mean, nothing at all, yo. Was
So
so good.
So I wanted to touch real quick on something that you mentioned, right? Like
Yeah.
how in the city, if you saw Elton, you would be like, he ain't all that, you know what I mean? But he'd go out of town and cook, right?
Yep.
So a lot of times I think you can chalk that up to out of towners not knowing guys' games, but also a lot of the upper echelon talent in the city have guys that they play with that aren't that known that they let try to get shine. So they're like, oh, he can do that, so I'm gonna take a back seat to him, let him do his thing. You know what I mean? Like, when I got I had given up on basketball after high school. And
Mm.
shout out to Cal Hardy. Cal Hardy dragged me to Newberry. Was like, yo, you can make this team if you walk on. You know what I mean? Because Cal thought the world of my game. I didn't think anything of it. You know what I mean? I love to play, but I didn't think it was good enough to make a college team. And he was right. So I walked onto the team. So I think a lot of these upper echelon guys believe in their guys and
Yes.
try to give them a chance to shine and,
Yep.
kind of put it on cruise control till they got to do something. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think Elton might have fell victim to doing that a little bit. as many of them do. You know what I mean? So,
Definitely. Oh, definitely. You can look and tell. Like he was kind of just in cruise control when he was playing in the city, and he wasn't really going like too hard. You could see that for sure.
yeah,
But when it was again money time, with that year when Westy made they made the cities. I think they won the cities that year. Like Elton was the driving force. I mean, clearly now they had a hell of a ball player named downtown Jerome Brown on that squad also that kind of made things a little bit different. That's a conversation for another day when you talk about
the killer wings.
Just killer wings and just talent. You know what I mean? Just pure just talent. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, Elton doesn't. I don't think he fully gets the respect he deserves. But yes, Trizzy, thank you. Yeah, Fredo was on that team.
Damn, they had Fredo on that team too.
Fredo was on that team
like
also.
A couple years behind him.
I thought Fredo was on. I think Fredo was on that team also.
Wow.
Yep, I think Fredo was on that team also.
Right there.
Yeah, nah, Elton, man, like, and I mean, this guy wasn't a big, but like, I guess we classify Boo as more of a wing player, right? But he played big man like a lot, growing up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like undersized, big man. He played center for the field at 15 under. You know what I'm saying? Like, and until they got Cal Hardy, he was the other, he was there big. You know what I mean? Like, what do you think about Boo, man?
Oh, Boo Rivers, another one.
Yeah.
So when Cal got me up to Newberry, Boo didn't know I was coming up there to walk on, and he was encouraging me to even more. So it was like you got the battery in the back from two of the guys that you looked up to coming up playing. That's it. Like Boo is super versatile, IQ through the roof. You know what I mean? So, and he was strong. So it was like he was athletic as hell and he was strong. So it was the same situation as a Russ. You know what I mean? Like, I'm strong enough to play whoever on the block. So send whoever you want down here.
Yeah. Yep. Jonas Jackson. Underrated.
I think Tellus used to play for the Bucks, Jonas.
Yeah, Tellus played for the Bucks.
Yeah, Tellus played for the Bucks.
He was a buck like you, Jonas.
Yeah,
definitely tough. Hell of a player.
We've talked a lot about our era and a little bit about the era before. What about the newer generation, like eras after ours? Like, I'm not too familiar with a lot of the younger kids, but we got one on here right now, and it must be the genetics because Cal Jr. is a tough big.
Cal Jr. is definitely a tough big, no question. Rebounding, shot blocking. He's gonna control that paint. You know what I mean? He's gonna play tough. He's gonna play hard for you. No question about it. And it's funny that we talk about, we're talking about Cal and Boo. Now I'm gonna talk about both their sons because Bam.
Yeah.
Bam is another one. I mean,
IQ
state champion, IQ through the roof. You know what I'm saying? And he was a low post threat. He could stretch it out. Like he didn't have the athleticism, like his father did. But his through the roof. Absolutely through the roof. No question.
I've had the pleasure of like coaching Bam actually. I don't think I've never coached Cal, but I played pickup with him, up at Ripley on Sundays.
Yep.
It's crazy that I played with both their fathers and then I get to play alongside them, right? But Cal's just super athletic. My only knock, well, it's not even a knock. So at Ripley on Sundays, Cal will put it on cruise control until you piss him off. So I used to try to get them to piss him off on purpose. Like I was like, yo, you got to be physical with him. I just wanted to see that mean streak that I know is there come out because that his pops had it, so I knew he had it. And when it did, he would cook whoever. But
yeah,
it's definitely refreshing to see that it got passed down to both of them. You know what I mean? So
oh yeah, no question. I mean, listen, it was the way those two were around the game when they were younger. It had to rub off. Nothing else. Nothing
Yeah.
else they could do. Nothing else they could do. Um, who do I feel like we're missing? Someone like super underrated. Oh, he's not a Boston guy. He's a Cambridge guy. But Morales. Shout out to
Oh,
Morales.
yeah.
Shout out to Morales, man. Shout
Yeah.
out to my guy Morales, man. Lefty,
Mid range.
Morales 6'7", mid range, like tough. Play physical, like
He's still athletic too for as old as he is.
yeah. No, listen, and again, one of those guys that just think the game through, super smart, you know what I'm saying, player. And Morales is another one that's a winner too, because Morales held it down a lot of years with the Soldiers. When he was the center, and James Lambert was the power forward for
Mhm.
them at the time when they were like doing their thing. But Morales, man, Morales is super, super underrated. Morales is tough,
Yeah.
tough, tough, tough ball player.
Spence
No
on
question.
a Spence on a roll for sure because we definitely
Spent you
forgot
on a
Raheem
roll.
Land. How
The
could we
radio.
forget Raheem Land?
Well, he's not the radio. I'm about to call him the radio. No, that's just another. That's the 18th letter. You know what I mean? The raw lamb. One of the craziest performances I've ever saw in my life in a game in high school was one year that Dorchester was playing English, and this was after Booth he was at Dorchester. He ended up transferring to English, and him and Lamb, the performance that they put on in that game, I mean, was just ridiculous. Like Lamb must have had like 10 dunks around the basket because Booth was just catching it. Booth was playing like the old Michigan high-low, Juwan and Chris Webber. Booth was catching it. Mid-both. Defense collapse on him. Boop, just put it up, Lamb. Everything, boop, around the rim. Everything just like insane, dog. Insane.
Them English teams was crazy. Them
Yeah.
English teams was real crazy.
Yeah. Because I want to say maybe it was a year after. Yeah, that game was insane. That game was insane. Now I want somebody in the audience to help me in the chat, in the comments, to help me out. Was maybe it was Booth and Marv that was there at the same time. I don't know if Booth, Marv, and Lamb was there at the same time. It feels like
Lamb's the older of the three, isn't he?
No, Booth is the older of the three. Booth and Marv are the old. So maybe it was Booth and Marv. Because Booth and Marv are older than Lamb. Yeah, they're older than Lamb. For sure. Yeah, they're older than Lamb.
I don't think all three were there together.
Did they play together? Wow. They were all there. Wow.
Damn. That English team was fucking crazy then.
That's insane.
And then I
insane.
think what's crazy, I think my cousin was trying to get there too. He went to Eastie, but he's cool with all of them outside of school. But I think he was trying to get my grandmother to send him there too. My cousin Torian Williams.
Yo,
the original
English.
T-Will. Yeah,
English?
He went to Eastie, but I think he wanted to transfer to English, but my grandmother wasn't hearing it.
Wow.
So but he's cool with all of them. Outside of basketball, imagine you get him there. Him and D Cox were basically to me are the same player. Just D Cox is more athletic. But that's the original T-Will. Don't call the other T-Will in front of him. But that squad, that English squad was crazy. Now that you saying all of them was there together, that's insane.
They were all there together. Yo, so Lamb was a freshman, and that kind of makes sense. Okay, because Booth's the oldest, then Marv, and then Lamb was a freshman.
Y'all got great fact checkers as an audience for real. Because
I love it. I love it. What the hell did I just see on TV? Oh shoot! This football is crazy right now. We got to talk about Terren Francis. Terren Francis. Donald's All-American. sheesh, just was on those teams. He played in the era with Mike and Ant Davis and those
Hmm.
guys. Like he was from that era. Um Turin was another one, man. Again, like, and Mike and them kind of like groomed him. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike and them had a whole little factory where they were just grooming players down there at Wainwright. And so many players came from out of that camp. Um, but Turin Francis just, had a great career, went on to Notre Dame. Um, just a shot blocking, rebounding, just machine. You
Hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like, just did everything you needed on the basketball court, yo. Everything.
Yeah. What? So
Yeah.
with Turin, I didn't really watch him play much until college. Actually, I don't think I ever saw him play in high school. So I didn't know about him until college. And then I heard them say this kid's from Boston or something like that on a broadcast. I'm like, really? So I had to
Yeah.
like kind of do a little bit of research via asking dudes around and asking around and stuff like that. So that was, but you always that I think that used to always happen back then before the social media age. Like we would get kids sent like to college, like, or kids will walk on at college or something like that, and then you find out they're from Boston later on. Like, wow, really?
Yeah.
So, because
Yeah.
it's not as easy to access at back then as it is now. So, but
It was
another college guy, and this is another guy that's on my team at the OTL. Do we qualify Jamal Coombs as a big?
that's interesting. I would say no, but it's he's one of those. It's kind of it's very interchangeable with him because Maul had wing game. Maul has wing game. You know what I mean? So it's like I can't really. Yeah, I'm with you, Chuck. I struggle with that with classifying Maul as a big man. He just happens to be really tall, but his game, even though he can do it, even though he can do it, I classify Maul more as like a wing. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And we had this discussion because when I did do the list from the summertime, and we brought up TJ Anderson, right? Guys were like, TJ Anderson's not a big
mm,
necessarily, but I used to see him matched up against Lamb in the cities when he played. Like, even though he had more of a wing game, but it's tough. But to your point, I don't classify more as a big man. I classify more as a wing who just
okay.
has who's just really good. He just has a lot of those skills that, you know what I mean? Because it's almost like Keenan Smalls, right? Keenan's
Yeah,
6'6", 6'7", but we would
but
never
he's a wing.
classify Keenan as a
Yeah,
as a
he's a
big.
wing.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? And yeah,
yeah.
same. I mean, yeah, definitely same thing. TJ.
So,
I classified him more as a big man, but I could see people like, nah, he's more of a wing because he had kind of that like game, that wing kind of game, more so.
did I
You know what I'm
seen a
saying?
name? I seen a name mentioned that we haven't discussed yet either.
Who's that?
Trizzy said Eggy.
Big Eggy. Big Eggy. Big Eggy, man. Solid. You know what I'm saying? Solid big man. I got a couple chips with Big Eggy.
Mm,
Listen, he's going to play his role to a T. He's going to rebound for you. He's going to block shots. He's going to defend. He's going to communicate. You know what I mean? Like, and he's not going to be intimidated inside. You know what I'm saying? And I think, like, see, there's different kinds of bigs. There's some that are more of the skilled side that can do a little bit of everything, the Cal Hardys. And then there are the Jarretts, the Eggies, who like are just going to make an impact on, I mean, both ends of the floor, but they don't necessarily need the ball to like really help them out. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't need the ball to impact the game.
yeah.
So it's different. You know what I'm saying? With those kind of bigs. Who is your favorite? If you saw any of the, have you saw any of the new school bigs?
Not many. I've seen a few, you know what I mean? Like, and I haven't been going to the tournaments, and that's shame on me because I just been being a workaholic. But
Right.
um, yeah, no, I'm not familiar with a lot of them. But um, as far as big men go, because I played the position, it's hard to impress me. I think the thing that impressed me most with big men is heart and effort. You know what I mean? Because
Mm,
any like you could get a big man that can score, but if you take his heart, he's useless.
right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? So like I like those hard work. Like that's why he might suck to other people, but I loved Ben Wallace.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
He
I
didn't
mean,
he scared the hell out of everyone else, and he wasn't scared
right.
of anyone.
He was
So
again. He played a role. He played a
mhm,
role where he was intimidating. He rebounded. He defended. He protected the paint. You know what I mean? It was definitely nothing gonna be easy going up on him. Um, and I mean, again, Ben Wallace was an undrafted player that worked his way into becoming the four-time defensive player of the year that he became. You know what I'm
mhm,
saying? And the anchor of those Pistons teams that like that blue collar, hardworking, like I mean, all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, it just depends. Some people like different kinds of bigs.
mhm,
Some people like skilled, again, guys that are more of bangers inside and stuff like that. Like, so it's different, everyone. But if you could make up your ultimate big, right? And you could take five things from different bigs to make your ultimate big,
man.
right? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Locally, or we doing like a
so
Frankie
we're gonna do
Grimes
we're gonna
NBA players?
so we can do locally, right?
Okay.
And then we could do one NBA type of player, like
Mm.
intangibles and things like that. So what's some things if you could make up your ultimate big man from Boston? What are the intent like whose size and all that type of stuff?
Well, first off, give me Russ's strength.
Okay,
Ain't nobody strong. Ain't nobody we've mentioned tonight stronger than Russ.
that's a great point. That's a great point.
Um, give me Russ's strength. Give me Jarrett's jumping ability.
Mm.
Give me damn. This one's where I struggle because I'm like, do I take Cal's IQ or Boo's IQ? Because either
Oh, well, I'm sorry, I mean to cut you off. Okay, so he's a little bit undersized, but I guess this will fall into the Russ thing. Do we count Tony Lee a big or is Tony Lee a wing?
I thought Tony Lee was a wing. He's just a
Okay,
strong wing that bullies the
just
hell
a
out of other
strong wing.
wings.
Got you. Okay.
Like
So we
him and Ming are the same thing. Like they'll bully the hell out of every other wing that tries to guard them
right.
unless they're strong as they are.
Okay, all right. Get back to it. Oh man, listen, Mike. Thank you, man. Mike is bringing up some guys that I totally we got to shout out, man. Shout out to Keith Butler. Shout out to Courtney Sims,
Oh
man.
yeah,
Courtney Sims, and
yeah,
he went to your school, brother. He went to your favorite school. He went to Michigan.
yeah. Michigan, yeah. And he went to Melrose. I think he went to Melrose High, didn't he? No. I'm thinking of what's the kid's name that passed away? Damn, I'm drawing a blank.
Okay. All right.
But
Get
there
back
was a
to your
kid
big.
that passed away. He went to Michigan and he went to Melrose High for I think his freshman year. He used to live on Greenwood Street. I'm drawing a blank on his name.
Mm. All
But
right. Go
yeah,
ahead. So you said
um,
Russ is
yeah,
oh,
Kendrick,
Kendrick.
yeah,
Kendrick.
tough.
Rest in
Rest
peace,
in peace,
Kendrick Price.
Kendrick, man.
Rest in
He,
peace, Kendrick Price. Rest in
yeah,
peace,
yeah.
KP.
He used to he played for Melrose his freshman year, I think, and then he transferred to a prep school, and then he went to my favorite school, Michigan, too. Also,
Yeah.
so
Rest in
um,
peace, Kendrick, man. Kendrick was special.
yeah, he was.
Kendrick was definitely
So
special.
we got Russ's strength,
Mm-hmm.
Jarrett's jumping ability.
Yep.
Give me Cal Hardy's game overall, like his jump shot, his handle, all that. Um, his post moves, Cal Hardy's game overall. Give me Boo's IQ. Um, that's about. I think that's it.
So give me man, give me Randall's size
Mm,
with Jara Heights athleticism.
mm,
Um add in Booth's IQ.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Um, and Cal Hardy's just skill.
Yeah.
Just give me Cal Hardy's skill.
Yeah.
Because Cal was a big man who was just really, really skilled. Cal had handle, he could shoot, Cal could do there's
He
nothing
had
that Cal
post
Hardy could
game,
not do
everything.
there's nothing he couldn't do on the floor. You know what I mean? And just give me Jamal Jackson's mentality. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Word up.
Yo, Booth's IQ is a gift and a curse because
Yep.
it's his IQ is so high that when everybody else doesn't understand what he's seeing, it frustrates the hell out of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And people don't understand that. They just think he spazzes out, but I get it. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo, no, he's mad because y'all ain't seeing what he's seeing. He's seeing shit 3 steps ahead of what y'all are seeing, and it's frustrating him that you're not seeing the same shit.
Yep.
So I get it. But
no, definitely. Yeah. No question. No question about it. Oh man, I forgot to bring up a big man, more of the old school side too. Shannon Bowman. Shannon Bowman, man. Shannon
Yeah.
Bowman. Pooh, big Pooh.
Yeah.
Big Pooh, man. Big Pooh.
That whole family got ballers, man. Shannon Bowman, T Chat, Joe Chat.
Oh, they all related?
They're all related.
Wow. I did not know that. I did not know they were all related. Wow. That's
tough.
Crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah. Another one we're feeling to mention is Reggie Carter, but let's get into Shannon real quick though.
Shannon Bowman, just tough, just a bully on the block. There was nothing you could do with him. You know what I'm saying? Like just super tough. And he's a Dorchester alum. Shout out to Shannon Bowman. Shout out to Lateef Patrick. Those guys were two, a little older than me, but I definitely heard about them, their stories, and all that type of stuff, and what they did from a big man standpoint. And definitely two of the best. And who you just talking about?
Reggie Carter.
Reggie Carter.
Before he got married and was eating good, I think he had a lot of those attributes. Like he was super athletic. He had that mentality. He was strong as an ox. Like
Yo, shout out to Kwame Green. Kwame Green is a legend in the hood.
Mm-hmm.
There's just shout out to Kwame Green. Kwame Green, I'll never forget. He came into Dorchester High one year. He was at Brighton, and he was feeling good. And I mean, they had a front line of Reggie Carter, this cat named Nabil. I don't know if everybody remembers Nabil. He was more like a shot blocking center. And Q Randall. This was their front line. Guard play was all right. Could have been a little bit better. Guard play was decent, but the big man was the thing. Reggie Carter's athleticism, like at that time, it was unreal. Like that he was jumping the way he was with the strength, the size, and everything. He still has arguably one of the best dunks I've ever saw in my life in the Lee School, BNBL. And I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. Like he just finished playing football, either practice or he had a game. He had on some low top tennis shoes, like low top sneakers, and caught one of the craziest dunks on one of the best big men who we didn't even mention, which is Joe Firmino, on his neck inside of the Lee School. Like what?
I know they lost it.
What yo, listen, like it was one of those.
Lee School was crazy.
Early Rucker days, you were stopping the game for a second. Like it was crazy what he did, yo. Crazy. Like Reggie Carter, no question. I mean, he had the inside game, he had the outside game. He was super tough. Like there was no punk in him. Just man, Reggie Darnell Carter, man, one of the best. Whew. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, a great person off the court too, man.
A great person off the court. I mean, again, in those days of the Lee School, I don't think people understand how competitive those games were at that place. I just don't think people understand the competitive nature of what 15, 19 being beyond. I mean, we'll get into that.
The
We
Bucks,
got a
the Lee
show. We got a
School, the
show one
field.
there. We got an episode coming up where we're gonna talk about, some of the best places to play in the city, man. And the Lee School definitely, again, the talent level that was coming up in there at
That
one
shit was
point
crazy. It was like
was just
in our era, it was 4 teams that were like it was like solidified 4 teams, and then the other teams would be like random teams that people would put in. You had the Lee School, you had Franklin Field, you had the Bucks, and I don't know if you remember Madhouse with
yes,
D
yes,
Green, Brent,
with
and
D
all of them
Green.
guys was over
Yep.
there. So it was the Lee School was crazy, and those games, any games between those 4 teams playing each other, was like must see TV.
Yo, listen, if you made it out the Lee School, there was a 90% chance that you were gonna win it if you made it out the Lee School. There's a 90% chance. Or you were definitely going to the championship and you were gonna face someone from either the Tobin or
Mission.
Madison.
Yeah,
Tobin or Madison.
You might as well just say Mission.
Well, Mission. Yeah, you were gonna face
You gonna face
Mission. You were gonna face
all.
Mission or the Titans too. Or the Titans. You were
Yeah,
gonna face
yeah.
Mission or the Titans. Those were like the Giants. And again, we got another episode where we're gonna talk about some of the best hood franchises around.
That'd be
And
dope.
I'm sure Mission, and I'm sure the Titans, and I'm sure BG, and it's gonna be.
You gotta have Chill on. You gotta have at least, if not Chill,
yeah.
Sean Brown, one of the two. BG gotta be represented.
No,
So
for sure. For
if
sure.
y'all see this, make sure y'all have a representative ready.
No, I talked to Chill already. I'm definitely gonna get the OG on here for some talk about that. No question. Yeah, Pumpkins crew. I mean, it's when you talk about some of the best hood franchises around, that's gonna be definitely a good conversation.
Yeah, for sure.
But I feel like big men today, and to your point, Payne, I really haven't seen like too many of the younger bigs today. So I mean, forgive me for lack a little bit, but I'll go back to a young big man. I mean, he's still playing. He's in the OTL now. I know we didn't mention him, or maybe we did. Was Big Gabe?
Yeah,
Big Gabe.
I used to think Gabe had 2 left feet. So playing pickball, like I pick up ball. I used to think Gabe was just clumsy. Like he couldn't walk and chew gum at the same time. But then as he got older and I seen him playing more, I was like, okay, he's not that bad. I don't think he played until later. You know what I mean? So he didn't have his wits about him. You know what I mean? But yeah, Gabe was tough, or is tough, I should say. I'm not going to talk about him in the past tense like he's 50.
Gabe, big man, super skilled in the box. He was just, one thing about Gabe is that anytime he played on the floor, you were going to get everything he had. Yeah, Mike. I mean, listen, Pumpkin Man. I mean, he's definitely, again, we got an episode talking about some of the best hood coaches and stuff like that. And Pumpkin is absolutely one of those guys. No question about it. No question. I mean, the level of talent that he was bringing around, when you talk about the Gabes, when you talk about the Kendrick Prices, when you talk about Big Trav, you know what I'm saying?
Talent.
Big Trav, you know what I mean? Like he just, and it was a lot of big men that he founded too. Terrin Francis, like, Pumpkin. He I'm not sure how much he gets his just due for what he did on the court, but I mean what he did as far as recruiting. But yeah, man, I mean, Pumpkin definitely no question had killers, brought some killers out.
I think the reason we're not as impressed with the bigs now is because of the way the game has changed too. They're not playing the same way anymore.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what you said, be like, oh damn, this big is crazy.
Right.
It's different now. Like a big now will have 20 on all mid-range jumpers or threes.
Yeah.
Whereas before, a big one in our era was taking somebody to the rack, dunking on them, and ones, everything like that. Like it's a different game now, so it's harder to impress us as far as bigs go. So we might need to evaluate and evolve the way that we view bigs now. Like, okay, the way that we judge bigs now, rather, I should
Yeah,
say.
yeah. No, that's. I mean, that's a great point. That's a great point,
There's a
Mike.
young big. There's a young big that we damn, I just lost my. There's a young big that we both know.
Mm-hmm.
He plays different, but size wise, he's a big, and that's Jizzy. But he's a shooter. You know what I mean? Jizzy's a 6'4", 6'5", and a big guy.
Yep.
He can rebound, but he's a shooter. In
So
our
he's more of
day,
a
they would
shooter.
have been like, "Get your big ass to the block." You know what I mean?
Right.
But now,
But I'm sure.
now the
I'm
game's
sure they
different.
were. But I'm sure were there bigs like that in his time? In his time, or were there bigs that shot? I mean, look at Keenan.
Yeah, but I mean, Keenan's not a wide body either. Jizzy's a wide body. Like Jizzy's
Okay,
built
that's a good
like
point.
what's his name that used to play center for the Lee School? Ronnie.
Oh,
That used to
how
play
could
for
I?
the Lee School.
Yeah, listen.
They're built. They both got the same frame, but Jizzy's shooting like 10,
Yeah,
25 footers.
Furtado might be a little bit bigger, like size
Yeah.
wise. You know what I mean? But that's a great comparison, man. Ronnie Furtado. Ronnie Furtado. Man, Ronnie Furtado was one of the founding big men for hardball when we first started up, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just held it down, man. Ronnie Furtado, man. Like, listen, I went to war. I would take Ronnie Furtado and go to war with a lot of people, yo. Straight up, because he definitely held it. He definitely held it down, no question. Rest in peace, my brother Rude Boy.
Oh yeah, Rude Boy
Rest
was
in
tough.
peace. Rest in peace, my brother Rude Boy.
Super athletic.
Again, you know, did a little bit of everything as far as the inside and the outside game goes. Just a dog out there, like on that paint. You know what I'm saying? As far as defending and all that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, man. Wow, we talked about a lot of really good players. Unfortunately, in the past tense, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but Mike, you listen, Mike, you remember it, man. You remember it. Ronnie Furtado was the first big man. He was my franchise big man, yo. You know what I mean?
Another big that we're forgetting to mention, and he was a great winner in all through high school. He was on them Southie teams that won a lot of chips. Is Cliff
Lewis.
Big Cliff.
Underrated, undersized big man. Who was the center, who was a 6'3", 6'4" center. The crazy thing is Cliff just had crazy jumping ability.
Yeah,
his athleticism was
top row.
Athleticism was through the roof. I mean, but he was a center for a South Boston team that won the state title 2 times.
Yeah.
Like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like on their press, I mean, Cliff was the back line of the defense, and he used to get like so many steals, deflections. Super underrated. Definitely. Tellus Robinson. You know what I mean? I think Jonas mentioned Tellus earlier, but Tellus Robinson definitely. Tellus again was more of the skilled big that could face up, put it on the floor, do a little bit of everything. You know what I mean? And it's because his favorite player at the time was Jamal Mashburn, and so that's who he really patented his game after. You know what I'm saying?
Mash was tough.
Yeah, he definitely was. Yeah, Cliff was a hardball guy, no question about it. Cliff definitely was, man. You know what I mean?
So he was from my neighborhood. He's a Ripley Road product.
Yep, absolutely. Man, I feel like we're forgetting somebody. We tried to mention this.
I'm sure we left off of quite a few people.
You know what I mean?
Listen, I had someone in my head and it just went away.
Did it?
Yeah, so it's a long list of big men. Like, and these guys are super tough. And I think what the epitome of a big man is, but because of this new positionless basketball thing,
right?
Like we were saying, we might have to reevaluate how we judge if a big man's tough or not.
So I think when we do a part 2 to this, we get some guys to come on the show with us and talk about the evolution of the big. And let's try
Mm,
to see if we could find some different skill sets of bigs to kind of bring on. So we have we don't just have the traditional big, versus the undersized big, or you know what I mean. Let's try to mix it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because yeah, man, you could just so many different kinds. You know what I mean? And again, like the bigs or what we consider bigs in our city and some other towns, these guys are wing players.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you think about that.
We
These guys are
definitely
wing
don't make
players.
them. We definitely don't make them too tall like that.
No,
Like
no.
you go down south to Texas and like their starting three is 6'10". Like what?
Yep.
Our three
Yep.
is 6'2". What are you talking about?
Right. Right.
What are y'all
Because
feeding them?
like, Demetrius Nichols here playing, he will be considered a big man,
Mm-hmm.
but he's really a wing. He's a wing player in college.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But here, playing in tournaments, he will be playing on the post. I mean, he will be on the perimeter. You know what I mean? So D Nichols, definitely another tough big man who yeah, definitely no question about it. So
For sure.
it's looked like we up against it. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
It's getting to be that time. You know what I'm saying? So any parting shots? Hold on for a second, mate.
Throw it in the corner. Brown fakes, fires up the three. Bang! Bang! Jaylen Brown knocks down the three to tie the game.
All right, man. So the buzzer beater for today, we talked about your big man of like Boston, if you could take it up and mix it around. So let's switch real quick to pros and see like if you could make your ultimate big man, what would that look like?
Let's start with the intangibles first, right? Let's go with KG's heart,
Mm,
right? Give me Ben Wallace's shot blocking. Give me Chris Webber's mentality.
mm.
Give me before injury Larry Johnson's athleticism,
Oh God.
Tim Duncan's skill, and give me Akeem Olajuwon's post game
Okay.
and Shaq's strength.
Okay. I'm about to say you ain't got Shaq, you ain't got Dwight Howard, one of them in there for strength.
Yeah, you got to get
Um,
Shaq. Yeah, you got to get Shaq in there.
Give me Kareem's height with KG's heart, Duncan's low post skills.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Ewan's jump shot.
Okay.
And I think that's it. What I say? I said give me
You forgot.
Oh,
you got to get them shot blockers.
And Mutombo's. I was gonna say Dwight Howard, but because he passed, give me Mutombo's shot blocking ability.
Yeah, for sure. I seen a sequence where he just punched like 5 straight shots. Like, dog, just shoot a jumper. Stop going near him.
Right. Right. I think I remember that game you're talking about too. He was playing for the Hawks when this happened.
Yeah, like just stop going in there. Stop. Just shoot a jumper. It was the same possession. He kept punching it and they kept catching it, trying to go. Stop. Just stop.
Like, you know how this movie ends, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, thank everybody for tuning in. Another episode of Grove Hall podcast.
Yes, sir.
Next week we will be back. I'm not sure what's next week's on. I have to check and see what's on the docket for it.
I knew y'all had the ladies coming on. Oh no, y'all had the ladies
Oh,
already.
we had the lady. Yeah, the ladies came on already.
Right.
This is good. I don't even know. My man Sammy Little. I'm missing my brother. He's out
yeah.
tonight. He's getting back. Yep. He'll be back.
Little, you owe me 2 now.
Yeah, word up. Word up. Shout out to the good brother, Coach Payne, for stepping in, pulling up, man, on nephew's birthday, taking out some time, man, from stuffing his face, saying to join up, you know what I mean, and talk about bigs. I mean, again, you played the game, you were an undersized big in your days, you know what I mean? So you can
I
identify,
really love talking
what
about
it is.
big men. So.
Right. So you definitely know what it is, and you know how to draft well too, because you've had a lot of good big men. You have Russ, you have Marv. Yeah, Dre, you just drafted Jeremy Tate. So like you could understand and identify what a good big man is, and you go for a lot of strong and skill too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what I mean? So we'll see, man. But check us out next week. Grove Hall Podcast. We'll be back. Another episode for you guys. We'll let you guys know what it is during the week, man. Tune in, Grove Hall Podcast. Coach Bain.
Yes, sir.
Coach Payne. We out of here. Appreciate everybody rocking out with us.
Peace.